Hey everyone, so I was been watching a lot of videos lately. Gary Vee has been ringing in my ears for the last 6 months probably. It was what caused me to start the YouTube channel, kind of document what I'm doing, knowing all the while that I am unhappy with the look, the sound, and whatnot. But I was looking today and just feeling like I need to jump back on the train of putting out content that is valuable to people. And not even, I think I've spent a lot of time trying to focus very heavily on like really delivering value and almost overthinking what it is that I'm creating or talking about or doing. And I don't know how to explain it other than I feel like recently I've debated for a long, long time on, do I separate or am I trying to create a brand for marketing and my dental marketing business? And then am I also trying to create a brand for Chris Kiefer? Or is there a YouTube channel that's kind of behind the scenes of Sky? And then there's another one that's like official Sky stuff. And I recently, I think I've had moments of like enlightenment or epiphanies in this process, but really what I'm starting to attach myself to and really embrace is a podcast. Like I started a podcast called The Pursuit of Purpose in January. I've now posted 8 episodes as of yesterday. I've got tons of people lined up, and I debated for a really long time on whether or not I should create a second podcast that's focused exclusively on the dental market and dental marketing, which again may or may not be a bad idea. But I've thought of this pursuit of purpose almost as like this thing that's just for me and anyone else that might find it interesting. When in reality, I am sending like the content and the people that I'm interviewing on this podcast are just people that I find interesting. They have nothing to do with dental marketing. They have nothing to do with the the clients that I talk to on a regular basis. They're just, I just talked with a guy that has an augmented reality company, and I spoke with a sales consultant, and I talked to a guy who sold his software company. I talked with my sister who struggled with bulimia. I just have gone through a whole variety of random things, and I'm really enjoying the podcast. But what I realized today after watching 2 different keynotes on YouTube that Gary Vaynerchuk had given was I need to do a better job of blending all of these different things that I do together to build my own personal brand. And my personal brand is more of just what I genuinely find interesting. I've struggled for a very long time on, do I need to hide, and hide might be the wrong word, but not talk about some of the things that I find interesting because that might be confusing to clients that are looking at working with us for dental. Like, is it bad that I'm talking about augmented reality and VR and sales if what I'm actually doing for clients is SEO on their dental website? And I think the reality that I'm coming to solidify and just embrace is that I need to create content around what is important to me and what I'm consuming and doing on a daily basis. Which one of those things that I have never really openly shared or talked about, excuse me, is that I am working from a home office. My wife works full-time as a physical therapist, and we recently had our first baby. Her name is Ellie. And while I'm obviously not turning this into a show about my daughter or even the like personal life, one thing that I need to just do a better job at conveying and demonstrating is that I have the pleasure and the benefit and the ability to work from home. And we're going to have to figure out something to do with childcare. But at the moment, I basically am working in between when Ellie is sleeping and when she's awake and whatnot, which for a long time I felt like would be better to not talk about or not mention. But the reality is, the reason I made this video is because I want to get back on the content train. I need to start diving into Instagram and Facebook and all the different places that I can start promoting my own personal brand. And just talking about things that I genuinely find interesting. And then, on a side note, by the way, I own a company that does marketing for dentists. Instead of trying to focus so heavily on how do I create a content on an everyday basis on dental marketing, because I can't think of enough stuff to do. So, anyways, this is what this video is about. It's kind of just a long rant on me getting back into it and really prioritizing and putting focus and emphasis on what I think is important for the time being for myself, and being active and present online. So yeah, I am just going to be putting out content on a more regular basis. I don't even necessarily have a plan of the numbers per day or what channels I'm going to be on. I just know that I need to start creating and documenting and talking about what I'm doing in all pieces of my life, because that's who I am. And if someone wants to work with who I legitimately am, that's going to be better for me and them. It's going to be more enjoyable for me. And if someone is not interested in working with me after seeing the type of content that I'm putting out, then that's probably fantastic that I didn't even have to entertain that conversation, because I'm not the right fit for them. So thank you for your attention. Thank you for listening. And I'll be putting out some content on a regular basis on multiple different channels. Hopefully you guys find it valuable or helpful, but really just stuff that I think is interesting.